This is the DIR Facial Beauty Med Spa Chair. It lets me position clients exactly where I need them, quietly and smoothly, while keeping them comfortable for long sessions and keeping my posture in a safe, neutral place. I put this chair in the category of professional treatment furniture for people who do hands-on services. If you run a clinic, a studio, or a spa, or if you are like me and split time between tattoos and beauty treatments, this is meant for that kind of work. It is not a lightweight, folded-up kind of thing. It is the kind of chair you place where you want it, and you expect it to anchor the room and support clients of all shapes and sizes. The design looks simple and modern, but what matters day to day is how it feels and how it moves. The upholstery is black faux leather that wipes clean easily and does not feel plasticky. The padding is high-density foam that has enough give to relieve pressure points, but it does not collapse under weight. The base and frame are steel, and it shows in the stability. There is no wiggle, no rattle, and no awkward flexing, even when I am leaning in from the side. The armrests are reversible and removable, which sounds small until you have a client who needs more space at the sides, or you need a clear path to work along the jawline or ribcage. The headrest adjusts up and down. It can pop off, and it has a built-in breathing hole, so when someone is face down they are not smashing their nose and mouth. The footrest extends and can be taken off when I want space around the calves or when I am doing lower leg work. All of those parts feel like they were designed to be changed often. Nothing is sticky, and the locking points click in with confidence. Setting it up was the only moment that made me pause. The chair is heavy, around 200 pounds, and I needed another person to get it into the room safely. Once in place, assembly was straightforward. I attached the arms, aligned the headrest and footrest, made sure the connectors clicked, and did a bolt and cable check. No special tools and no guesswork. The first power on told me what I needed to know about the motors. There are 3 of them, one for the height, one for the backrest, and one for the leg rest. They move slowly enough to be precise and quickly enough that I do not feel like I am waiting. The sound is a low hum that does not break a calm treatment flow. If I am playing quiet music, I do not need to raise the volume to cover the movement. Day to day, ease of use is where this chair earns its space. I have hand controls and I have foot pedals. The first week I thought the pedals were a nice to have. After a few sessions, I realized they are one of my favorite parts. Being able to keep my hands where they need to be, keep my gloves clean, and still nudge the height up or the back down without reaching for a remote, changes the rhythm of a session. The buttons are placed logically, and there is no double tap confusion. I can make micro adjustments without breaking focus, and clients feel like the chair is responding to them rather than dragging them from one position to another. Performance for a chair like this is about 3 things for me: stability, comfort over time, and positional control. Stability is excellent. Even at full extension, there is no sway. I have had clients who are close to 400 pounds, and the chair holds that without complaint. Comfort holds up over long sessions. I routinely sit with clients for 2 to 3 hours at a time. People shift their shoulders less. Their hips do not go numb as quickly, and I do not get that constant small request to sit up or lie back because something is pinching. Positional control is where the 3 motors matter. I can set a true flat lay for a back piece, or bring someone up to a near-seated angle for brow work, or find that sweet recline where the neck relaxes but the chin stays accessible. The transitions are smooth enough that nobody tenses when the chair starts to move. I tested it in a few specific scenarios that always stress test furniture. Full back sessions demand a face-down position for a long time. The breathing hole in the headrest prevents the nose and mouth pressure that normally forces a break every 20 minutes. I add a small towel around the edges, and clients settle in without the forehead ache I used to see with rigid cradles. For precision facial work, I removed one armrest and reversed the other. That created space for my elbows and kept one support for the client to rest on. With the foot pedals, I raised the height incrementally as I moved from lower face to upper face, which saved my back. For lower leg work, the extendable footrest meant taller clients did not hang off the edge, and when I wanted more access around the ankle, I removed the footrest completely. The chair stayed planted while I leaned into angles that usually make other chairs budge. Cleaning is routine and quick. I spray a standard disinfectant after each session, wipe it down, and there is no staining or lingering chemical smell. The faux leather does not hold on to residue the way some vinyl surfaces do. Seams are tight, so I am not chasing product into stitching. I care about the hygiene workflow as much as I care about comfort, and this chair helps both. Two things are worth calling out that might be drawbacks, depending on your setup. The weight means you probably do not want to move it from room to room. Once you choose a spot, plan to keep it there. I added felt pads under the base to allow small nudges without scratching the floor, but I still treat it as a permanent fixture. The other thing is color. The black looks professional and it hides stains, but if you are trying to match a specific color palette, options are limited. That said, the trade-off in stability for weight and the easy cleaning of the dark finish makes sense for my work. A small but important design note is the seat depth. It is generous. I have tall clients who usually feel like they are sliding off narrow chairs when reclined. Here, their thighs are supported, and that keeps hips relaxed, which cuts down on fidgeting. For shorter clients, the adjustable footrest lets me bring support to them so their feet are not dangling. Those tiny adjustments show up in how still someone can stay over the course of a long session, which shows up in how clean my lines are and how even my shading feels. I also pay attention to the way equipment fails over time. So far, there is no play in the joints, and the motors sound the same as the first day. The controls have not developed delay. There is a 1-year warranty, which adds a layer of reassurance, but honestly the steel frame and the way the parts mate together inspire confidence. I am not babying it, and it is holding up. One specific use case stands out. I had a client in for a multi-area session, shoulder and lower arm in one sitting. I started with the backrest nearly flat and the headrest at a slightly elevated angle so the neck relaxed. Midway through, I removed both armrests and turned the client to a half-seated position with the leg rest up. Using the foot pedals, I moved the height up an inch or two at a time until my shoulders dropped and my wrists were neutral. The whole reposition took less than a minute. It did not break the vibe, and the client said the chair felt like it was adjusting around them rather than them climbing around the chair. It is a small thing, but it is the kind of small thing that adds up to fewer breaks and better focus. What feels unique here is not just the presence of motors, but how thought out the controls and attachments are for real work. The breathing hole is centered and comfortable. The armrests do not just come off, they reverse cleanly so I can choose where the bulk sits. The pedal controls mean clean hands stay clean. The motors are quiet enough to keep a calm room calm. The foam is supportive rather than squishy, which matters after the first hour when most chairs show their flaws. And the frame does not yield when I shift my weight, which lets me get close to the work without bracing a knee into the base. This chair makes the most sense for people who want a stable, professional platform and who will keep it in one place. If you travel or you need to bounce between rooms a lot, the weight will frustrate you. If you care about clients staying comfortable during long sessions, if you need fine control over height and angle, and if you want foot control so your hands stay in position, this is worth a serious look. The lack of color options and the effort to move it are real, but they are easy to accept once you feel how solid and adaptable it is in daily use. I went in hoping for a reliable chair with electric adjustments. I ended up with a workstation that quietly improves the way I work and the way clients feel on the table. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing to the channel and drop your questions or your own experiences in the comments. Thank you for watching.